Hey, so it's another episode of 90 Day Fiance. This time it's the spin-off The Other Way. 90 Day Fiance is a reality show that features couples, one person from the US, one from another country, how they navigate relationship issues initially, plus on top of that, cultural differences, language barriers, the legal process of being engaged and becoming married and all of that. It is a 90 Day Fiance. This time, the spinoff is The Other Way. First, we're going to start off with some of these couples, Inky and Corona. But first, I would like to say this is kind of like the preliminary, one of the preliminary episodes. It's like The Other Way. Okay, so how do I get the other way? These couples are going to their respective partners' countries, and we're showing them travel and transition to this new area. I'm on my way kind of thing. So this is a I'm on my way episode, kind of more of a preliminary episode in my opinion. We see, I'm going to start off with Inky and Corona. Inky is in Iceland. Corona is probably will be the only woman of color there in Iceland. Inky also reveals to us that there's a lot of people related to each other in Iceland because of the low population. So it can be kind of dicey dating there. And they actually do have a website to see how related each other might be. And he even made a joke that you might see whoever you're dating at the family dinner one day and find out that's your relative. So that sounds kind of scary to me. And I would understand trying to seek love outside of your country if you are in that type of situation. So Inky kind of talks more about himself. He's been partying and hanging out with his friends since a teenager. So he's been living that party bachelor lifestyle. Again, we see that there's potential partners, but again, you have to look up and see how related you are. In his country, there's not, I guess, a lot of I feel it's less options due to that situation. He hangs out with his friends. They do role-playing games, so he's kind of a nerd, but he's also a nerd that goes to parties and drinks as well. And he and his friends are talking about Corona coming up there, and that this is his first serious relationship, so he's his friends are like, are you gonna get married, engaged? Like, no, I don't have a ring. This is my first serious relationship, so I'm definitely not gonna do that. But they are moving quickly, and this is the first time he's ever lived with anyone. And Corona says this is probably the first person, besides the first black person they've ever seen in Iceland, and the first black person his parents will ever meet, and the first time he will be introducing someone that he's dating to his family. So that's a big deal and a milestone there. And they show her leaving her little pet friends behind. With her friends are going to be keeping her pets until she's able to bring them. I'm not sure the process. I see that as a reoccurring thing, is similar as to what's going on with one of the other couples that can't bring their dog at the time that they're going to be leaving. So I guess there's things with pets and customs going on, which I guess makes sense for everybody's safety. Sarper and Shekinah, last time Shekinah comes, he's all heartfelt, emotional. He claims he's been a priest. He's been that good and saintly since she's been gone. But he still has his bottle collection that represents all the different women he's met throughout all the different areas he's traveled. So she's upset about that. So she brings her own little backup arsenal. I think she brings a 143-page letter from one of her exes. And, he's kind of upset about that. They both kind of get into it. The fact that he's kind of touting his old exes, but she can't have anything from her ex. She leaves the book there. It looks like he opens the book and rips some of it up and throws it on the floor. And she just doesn't like the double standard of him being able to hold on to those things and talk about his exes, but she can't do the same. I don't know. For me, if he knew the letter was back when she was 16, I don't know if I would even care that much because I think what they're in their 40s now. I don't know if he knows the background context for that, but that is pretty impressive. That is technically a book, a 143-page letter. That's a book. But and she's also upset that he doesn't have any room or space for her. The place is a mess. He doesn't have it set up for her to bring her clothes. I think she wanted to make one of these rooms or for her road wardrobe, which I think that may be a little excessive for her to take the whole room. But I don't know fully how their whole situation is made up. Whatever the case, he's not ready for her. He's saying all these things, but when she gets there, it's not looking great. So she's made it back because she was there before. So this is her return to the other way. And it's not very welcoming for her. Statler and Dempsey. Well, they're supposed to be caravanning across the country, buying this van. And Statler has taken out like a big $20,000 loan, sent it to Dempsey in order for them to make this trip. But the conversion rate of their money takes about $5,000 off of what Statler sent. So that's going to be an issue as far as them having enough money to get this van they're supposed to be getting. So Statler's going to try to sell her car. Come to find out, her car is a 2017. She can get over $18,000 for this car, but she doesn't want to let go of her car. She loves her car. I understand the connection with your vehicle, especially if you don't have to give it up and there's nothing wrong with it. And even sometimes when it is something wrong with it, I do have feelings for my car. I'm sorry, guys. I do. I know it's an inanimate object, but especially if it's your first car or you've just had it for so many years, you have a connection with this vehicle. But Statler's like, just in case I need a backup plan, I'm not going to get rid of my car, but it's been appraised for over $18,000, and that will definitely give them even more money than what they would need to take this trip. So Statler decides, hey, you know what? I'm not going to do that. But as she's trying to go over to meet Dempsey, that is when she finds out the conversion rate and how they don't have enough money. And it's kind of too late for her to change her mind about selling the car because she's supposed to be getting on the plane that day. So oopsie there. It's a little mess up, but we'll see how this little trip goes. Honestly, the fact that Statler's putting up all the money doesn't totally sit well with me, and this is a loan. But honestly, if you are in a relationship and you guys have chosen to live a lifestyle where one person is fronting everything, that's your choice if you want to. It is traditional, even though they aren't a traditional type of relationship. They're more of an alternative couple, but it's traditional for the man in order to hold everything down. And not to say the woman can't contribute, but in this case, it looks like Dempsey really doesn't look like she's contributing anything at this point. I do feel contribution is worthy and helpful, and if you are planning something big that you guys need to come up with, okay, this is how much I can come up with, this is how much I can come up with. Give you guys some time and chance to save up if you have to, not something that you rush and jump into. To me, this seems like a little bit of a rush type of thing, and it seems fun to road trip, but it's like going to be an extensive, long road trip for however long. We don't know. All right, let's go with now Josh and Lily. Josh is from the U.S. Lily is from China. And she's going to basically be taking care of everything. We talked about just a moment ago how traditionally the man takes care of everything. Lily will be taking care of everything because as Josh moves to China, he will not have the ability to work as far as legally. He won't be able to work. And I don't know if he can get paperwork in order to do so. That could change. A lot of times when they talk about the person not being able to work in a traditional way, I get that, but there's so many things you can do even if you're in another country. You can do some side hustling. You can help out and people give you a few bucks here and there. It's not as if I'm not saying illegally work, but people do it often where they do a little work here and there. They get a few bucks in cash here and there. If you continue to do that, that's contributing in some type of way. There's things you can do online that contribute, like you can do stuff online while you're in another country and still get money from whatever your prospective country is. So, not to say it's a lot of money, a lot of side gigs don't pay extremely well, but let's say you have your own store or your own shop online, the possibilities of it doing pretty well is up to you and how much you can make and how much you can do. I think I've mentioned this, Mary Kay and Avon and whatever type of things that they have like that in that country. Have your partner can sign up for you and you can do all the selling, and that's how money can be in the household, by you doing the selling but everything be under your partner's name. I mean, there's multiple things that you can do, but in China I really don't know all of the options, so it is like a completely different animal to me because I'm not sure. But I'm sure there's something that he could do, but he's feeling insecure because right now there's nothing that he can do. And Lily's like stepped up and said, I'm going to take care of everything. I have a successful business, cosmetic business here. But she is, and we're seeing through the previews and whatnot, talking a lot about how she keeps putting up the money. She's stressed. So how is that going to wear on the relationship? We'll come to find out. But in this episode, he's saying goodbye to his parents. They've been having a heartfelt little emotional goodbye. He lets us know this is his third marriage and really hopes that it works. And as she said she was going to pick him up from the airport, but it's a 3-hour trip. And he's like, no, I want to show her that I can do some things and she doesn't have to do everything for me. So he has a driver taking him for the whole 3 hours. And he's asking him questions using his phone app to translate. Is it normal for a man to, be taken care of by his wife? And the man is basically upfront. Basically, what we all know is that no, the man's supposed to be taking care of his wife and his family and all of that. So, we kind of get a little insight as to how things are going to look in the whole dynamics of him being there in China and being, in a way, a house husband. Again, she has her own business. I mean, there's tons of things that he could do to help support her. He can run errands for her and her business. Like, there's ways that he can work this. I mean, he doesn't have to just sit at home and enjoy the luxuries. He can put some work in. He can come up with some ideas if she wants him to. Because sometimes people are like, this is my business. I don't want your ideas. But he can do some things. So you can be a little bit more inventive and creative, and I'd like to see a couple do that one day. I've never really seen that up front of couples doing that and working together, and even though one can't actually have a government, so to speak, type of legal job with all the paperwork involved. So that's our couples on the other way that we've seen on this episode. What are your thoughts, comments? Connect with me, let me know. Email me at cbiztv@yahoo.com. That's cbiztv@yahoo.com. All the best. Talk to you guys later. God bless.